Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to the Cobra Sancho toy review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the Wave 2 of the Jungle Assault Jungle Viper. I finally gotten this after waiting for this figure to pop out in public for 1 year. Ever since they started to, post images of this figure in his tank forum or Tarot Dome or whatsoever places, those pictures were taken from the San Diego Comic Convention areas or any other convention areas, and a lot of fans has been waiting to get this figure, waiting for almost a year there. And finally this figure came out in public, and I got this straight from a local toy shop near my area. They gave me a message saying that they stocked this figure up, so I immediately hurry over there and get it. And this cost me about 37 ringgit. I actually saved up 3 ringgit there, which is a good deal. Yes. Now let's take a look at the front part of packaging. You got a nice little packaging that follows similar style of the 25th anniversary version, with a mixture of the Rise of Cobra. You notice the artwork and the glow follows the same way as the Rise of Cobra artwork. Now it's a pity that you can't actually enjoy and admire the artwork there because, the name plus the plastic bubble actually covers whole half of the portion of the artwork itself, so it's a pity. Very nice little artwork there. Now the plastic bubble stores the figure and the camouflage equipment that simulates like leaves or bushes. Very nicely done, and he carries some sort of a rifle that doesn't look, it may look like a sniper rifle, but the actual weapon, it would be a anti-malware rifle, the type of a rifle that actually penetrates an armored vehicle, which is kind of scary when you think about this kind of a unit carrying that kind of weapon, which is really freaking scary. You got the figure, you got the accessory of his camouflage accessory, you got the weapon there, you got the base stand at the back there. Now at the back of the packaging, you notice there's this smaller write-up explaining what's G.I. Joe about and who they're up against, Cobra, which is their enemy, the terrorists. Now here their mission is this time Jungle Assault. You got a nice little diorama image there. I'm not too sure what figure is that. I have no idea. Could be anyone. You got the van there, the van vehicle covered in mud, really nice. The Jungle Assault Duke. Night Adder is here. Not too sure why an urban character will be in a jungle scene, or I could be wrong. It's really hard to tell what sort of figure is that. You got the Jungle Viper there. There's another Jungle Viper here, but you're hardly able to see it. You have to look really close. And there's also another figure, but you can't see properly there. Now at the bottom you got the file card. Jungle Vipers are Cobra troopers with special training as silent marksmen. Finally, a Cobra sniper. I've been wishing for it for like years. Their optic camo ghillie suits have digitized camouflage blades, which makes them disappear from any detection devices. They also use multi-visual imaging systems that give them wild visual display of surrounding territory. Very nice. And his mission equipment, Skulker JS high-powered Jungle Series marksman rifle. You sure it's a sniper rifle? Looks like an anti-malware rifle anyway. That's all the write-up. Let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now it comes with a whole slew of accessories, but we'll take a look at the base stand first. Now in the packaging it comes with a base stand, a Cobra base stand, that actually based on the 25th anniversary version. You got a nice little Cobra logo there, there's a peg there. Originally there's a peg there, but for this version they added an extra peg for the figure to stand on, which is a really good improvement. Now and the nameplate is stated Jungle Viper. At the back of the base stand itself is stated 2007 Hasbro made in China. I'll put this on one side. Now let's take a look at the smaller accessories. It comes with 2 pistols, surprisingly enough, as if this weapon is not enough, they have to give you 2 pistols. Now one of the pistols can be stored at this vest itself. You notice there's a holster there, and on the figure's lower right leg. You notice there's another holster there. Now let's take a look at the vest itself. You notice the vest, there's nothing in the front. It's just one piece like this connected to the front part of the skirt, and there's a button there. All you have to do is just connect it like so, and he wears it quite easily, as I'm going to demonstrate right now. You see, there's not much of a hassle trying to put the vest onto the figure, unlike most of the figures. It's quite simple. There you have it. Takes about a few seconds. Now let's take a look at the humongous weapon itself. Comes with a bipod, which is, you can separate it. There's a hole there, and there's a peg for you to plug it on, like so. And the weapon itself is actually two-piece. The barrel is a separate piece. There's a peg there to connect to the hole here, and there's a handle for the figure to hold on to. And there's another handle here, but kind of strange that it doesn't come with a trigger. It's quite strange, but the entire design is really nicely detailed stuff, except it doesn't come with a trigger. Now, according to the packaging, it's stated as a marksman rifle, but it's really hard to convince me that this entire piece is actually a sniper rifle, considering that it uses a huge size clip, magazine clip, to store a huge caliber of ammo. This entire thing looks like an anti-metal rifle that meant to shoot through an armored vehicle. Look at this, it's really huge. Next, we'll take a look at this piece here, the thermal optic, or the multi-optic, multi-visual imaging system, and that's what I call it. Why can't they just give it a name? It looks like a night vision goggle actually, and you notice there's actually a lot of scope. You notice there's a lot of scope. There's one larger scope now. I'm not too sure how a jungle viper actually can move his head around with this humongous scope prodding outwards, but it looks very nicely done. And the end of the barrel itself is painted in red. And on the bottom sides here, you notice there's tiny little pegs for you to plug it on the sides of the figure's head, like so. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the blades that came in the packaging. It comes with a lot of blades, and this two blades here actually connects to the left and right arms there. You notice the giant pegs there, very nicely done. And the entire wing section, you have to assemble it yourself. There's no instruction manual, so it doesn't take long to figure out which part goes to where, and actually is articulated. Every part is actually ball jointed, that goes 360 degrees. A bit tight though, but you can actually pose to whichever position that you want for the blades to look, so the figure can pose it along with it, so it wouldn't hinder to whatever degree of fashion, if that makes sense. But you notice each part of the bottom part of the blade itself, you notice there's actually, it's nicely sculpted. There's actually some details. You notice there's some stripes there painted in red, very nicely done. Now the entire piece, including these two pieces here, the top part is more darker in green, but the more it goes downwards to the bottom of the blade itself, it looks more dull. To simulate just like how a jungle would look, very nicely done. Let's take a look at the figure itself. I'm going to remove this piece here, and the vest, pop off the button like so. Now the entire figure, the paint job is simplistic. It's black and dull green. It does have flesh tones, paint job on the sides of the eyes though. And speaking of the eyes, the guy actually has pure white eyes. There's no eye pupils at all. It's rather creepy. I think they are genetically modified or something like that. On the side here, you got a nice little Cobra logo that's painted in silver. This part, on the front part of the chest itself, the side of the arms and the gloves, knee pads, and the holster is painted in dull green. But the entire figure is mostly black. It's alright. The entire figure sculpt, however, is actually new. At first I thought the head sculpt is actually the same head sculpt of the Alley Viper, but when I took a closer look and compare, it has a similar shape, but it's actually a totally new head sculpt, which is quite surprising. Here you've got a large peg there, and you've got, well, two arms here. It's equipped with some sort of a handlebars to show what it's for. Really nice though, very nicely detailed stuff. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head actually pivot up and down and turn 360 degrees and go side to side. Torso here goes 360 degrees, bend backwards, forward, and a little bit side to side, just a little bit. Now the shoulders here is a bit hindered by the, well, the shoulder pads, but it's still alright. Raise the arm this far and turn the shoulders 360 degrees. Elbow here bends this far and straight, or turn 360 degrees. Now the wrist joint is rather interesting, both wrist joints actually. They actually come with a 360 degrees turn swivel for a wrist joint, and it also pivot downwards and upwards. On the other side, however, it pivots on the sides. It's quite interesting. Hip joint goes forward, double jointed knee goes to the side, ankle here pivot downward, a little bit upward, and turn 360 degrees. I would have to say overall this figure is rather impressive, very impressive. Simple paint job, a lot of accessories, a lot of cool accessories, a really humongous gun, really humongous guns, and it's actually not bad. It does come with a lot of accessories here, really easily detachable vests, really fun to play around with. If I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I say they actually hit a good marker of this one. I have no complaints about this. I have, well, very little complaint. I mean, sure, there's no trigger here, but the rest of the stuff looks really great. Posing, however, is a bit pain sometimes because you have this oversized blades, but it's still alright. If I'm going to give a rating on this, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So, I thank you everyone for watching this review. I'm Lunacy05 and I'm signing off.